few weeks ago, the long-standing rumours finally became reality. Red Bull fired Sergio Perez, but what truly caught everyone off guard wasn't the firing itself. It was who Red Bull chose to replace him. Instead of promoting Yuki Tsunoda, the natural contender, they handed the seat to Liam Lawson. After all, Yuki isn't exactly a rookie anymore, with 4 seasons of experience since his 2021 debut with AlphaTauri. The Japanese driver has consistently outperformed his teammates and proven he can handle the heat. On paper, he seemed like the obvious choice for a step up, but somehow that wasn't the case. This decision has left many questioning Tsunoda's skill and potential. But here's the thing, Yuki Tsunoda is far from finished. So what exactly is it about Yuki that we're all missing? Let's find out. Standing at just 5 feet 2 inches, Yuki Tsunoda might be the smallest driver on the F1 grid. But don't let his size fool you. He's living proof that racing talent knows no size. Tsunoda's journey began when he was just 4 years old, karting for fun under the encouragement of his father. But by the age of 10, the fun turned into serious ambition. Yuki joined the JAF Junior Karting Championship, steadily climbing the ranks before stepping into the regional class in 2013 and advancing to the national class in 2014. In 2016, Yuki graduated from Honda's prestigious Suzuka Circuit Racing School and became part of the Honda Formula Dream project, a program designed to nurture Japan's next motorsport stars. That same year, Yuki made his single-seater debut in the F4 Japanese Championship during a one-off event at Suzuka. But Tsunoda wasn't content with merely showing up. He wanted to make a statement, and that he did. Racing against a field of 31 drivers, he stormed through to claim second place on the podium. Under Honda's guidance, Yuki's talent flourished. His first full season in the F4 Japanese Championship was impressive, with multiple wins and a third-place finish overall. But in his second season, Yuki left no doubt about his capabilities. Dominating the championship, he won 5 of the first 6 races, clinching the title in the final round at Motegi by a decisive 14 points. Among those closely watching was Honda's motorsport boss, Masashi Yamamoto. This was the moment Yuki's name landed on the radar of Helmut Marko, Red Bull's no-nonsense talent scout and motorsport advisor. In a chat with Yamamoto, Marko asked if Honda had any standout talents. Yamamoto needed no time to think. Yuki Tsunoda was the name on his lips. Marko reviewed footage of Yuki's performances and was instantly sold. The timing couldn't have been better. Honda had just partnered with Red Bull in Formula 1, giving Marko the perfect excuse to bring Yuki into the prestigious Red Bull Junior team, while still keeping him closely tied to Honda. His first major test came in the 2019 FIA Formula 3 Championship with Genza Motorsport. Adjusting to the high-pressure world of European racing wasn't easy, but Yuki adapted quickly. A key breakthrough came at Spa-Francorchamps, where he qualified 3rd and claimed his first podium. It was a sign of bigger things to come. Then came Monza. In the first race, Yuki delivered a podium finish, but the second race was where he truly showed his ability. Starting from 6th, he unleashed a masterclass in overtaking, including a breathtaking move on Jake Hughes to secure his first F3 victory. His performance that year was mind-blowing. He single-handedly scored all of his team's points that season, finishing 9th in the championship. This was a promise of greatness to come. To gain more experience on European circuits, Yuki Tsunoda took on the Euro Formula Open Championship with Motopark. Despite juggling his Formula 3 commitments and missing several rounds, he made a statement with consistent podium finishes and a brilliant victory at Hockenheim. Even with a limited schedule, he finished 4th in the championship. Impressive? Absolutely. But what truly set Tsunoda apart wasn't just his results, it was his unique approach to motorsport. When he joined Genza Motorsport's Formula 3 team, he shocked team owner Andreas Genza by declining an invitation to a Formula 1 race weekend. Why? Watching racing is boring, Yuki admitted. For him, it wasn't about the spectacle, it was about the craft, driving the car, working with the mechanics, and immersing himself in the technical nuances. This was some rare level of dedication. That dedication extended beyond the track. Yuki approached physical training with the same intensity as his racing. Living in Switzerland during his European career, He spent mornings cycling around picturesque lakes or running through mountainous trails to build the strength needed for high-performance cars. When he first arrived in Europe, he weighed just 45 kilograms. By the time he stepped into Formula 2, his physical transformation mirrored his growth as a driver. After a strong Formula 3 season, highlighted by a wet weather win and standout performances, Yuki made the jump to Formula 2 with Carlin. The transition wasn't seamless, especially with a global pandemic disrupting the season, but Yuki's raw speed shone through immediately. In his very first practice session, he topped the timesheets. Hey, if you've made it this far, you clearly appreciate good F1 stories. I mean, how could you not? So, to make sure you don't miss out on our next epic F1 video, hit that subscribe button. We promise not to flood your feed with race reports, just top-tier racing content. Now, let's get back to the action. Yuki's F2 season was a rollercoaster ride filled with highs, setbacks, and invaluable lessons. Early challenges, like a collision with his teammate in Austria and mechanical failures, tested his resilience. But instead of breaking under pressure, Yuki came back stronger. At Silverstone, he delivered a stunning drive to claim a podium finish, and just a week later, he followed it up with his first Formula 2 victory at the same track. From there, his confidence skyrocketed. Pole positions at iconic tracks like Spa-Francorchamps and clinical racecraft in tough conditions showcased his maturity. One unforgettable moment came in Bahrain, where Yuki stormed from last on the grid to finish 6th, proving his overtaking ability was second to none. By the end of the season, Yuki had racked up 3 wins, 4 pole positions, and a third-place championship finish. His performances weren't just good, they were convincing. Red Bull and Honda knew he was ready for the ultimate step. Test sessions with AlphaTauri's predecessor team followed, giving him a taste of Formula 1 machinery on legendary circuits like Imola and Misano. What made Yuki's rise so extraordinary wasn't just his results, but the speed at which he climbed the ladder. In just 2 years, he skyrocketed from European Formula 3 to securing a Formula 1 seat. At every level, his journey followed a familiar pattern. A brief period of adjustment followed by jaw-dropping performances that left no doubt he belonged at the next level. Yuki Tsunoda's rookie F1 season began with a spark. Right out of the gate, he delivered a points finish in Bahrain, coming 9th and setting the tone for a promising debut. Over the season, he scored points on 6 more occasions, culminating in an electrifying 4th-place finish in Abu Dhabi. That finale was a masterclass in overtaking and racecraft, where Yuki proved he had the chops to compete at the highest level. By the end of the year, he had racked up 32 points and finished 14th in the Drivers' Championship. A solid start to his Formula 1 career. But as promising as his rookie season was, his second year was a harsh wake-up call. The AlphaTauri at 0-3 fell off a performance cliff, and Yuki's season quickly turned into a battle for survival. After a decent start with points finishes in Bahrain, Imola and Spain, he hit a brutal 12-race streak with 0 points and 4 DNFs. A lone 10th place finish at Kota gave a glimmer of hope, but it wasn't enough to salvage the year. He ended the season with just 12 points and a disappointing 17th place finish in the standings. In his third season, Yuki showed resilience. Before the summer break, he managed 3-point finishes in Australia, Azerbaijan and Belgium, but misfortune struck after the break. An engine failure in Monza and a collision in Singapore threatened to derail his momentum. Yet, Yuki fought back. In Kota, Sao Paulo and Abu Dhabi, he delivered standout performances, scoring 14 points across those 3 races. His late-season surge not only elevated AlphaTauri to 8th in the Constructors' Championship, but also bumped him up to 14th in the drivers' standings. This season, however, Yuki has taken things up a notch. With 30 points to his name, his second-best tally since debuting in F1, he has exceeded all expectations. Finishing 12th in the championship, Yuki consistently outperformed his teammate, the experienced Daniel Ricciardo, and delivered stellar performances in a bottom-tier car. More impressively, he managed to outclass Alpine, Lance Stroll's Aston Martin, and Kevin Magnussen's Haas on several occasions, showcasing sharp qualifying pace and racing intelligence. Yet, When the moment finally seemed ripe for Yuki to step up to Red Bull, the opportunity slipped through his fingers. Instead, it was Liam Lawson who got the nod for a 2025 seat. For many, the decision was puzzling, especially as Red Bull faces a tightening championship battle. With McLaren, Ferrari and Mercedes all securing wins this season and posing a real threat, Red Bull needs every edge they can get. Bringing in an experienced driver like Tsunoda, someone with 4 years of F1 experience and a proven ability to punch above his weight, seemed like the logical move. Red Bull's decision to gamble on Lawson, while intriguing, raises questions. Will the team regret not leveraging Yuki's experience during such a critical time? Or will Lawson rise to the occasion and prove himself worthy of the trust placed in him? Only time will tell if Red Bull's gamble pays off. But one thing is certain, Yuki Tsunoda is far from finished. Despite the snub, his talent is undeniable. His journey may have taken an unexpected turn, but it's clear that he remains one of the most exciting talents on the grid. What sets Yuki Tsunoda apart in Formula One is his fearless, no-holds-barred approach to learning. While most drivers try to avoid mistakes at all costs, Yuki sees them as the gateway to greatness. For him, every slip-up is a lesson, every failure a stepping stone to discovering the absolute limit. This mindset worked wonders in his junior racing days. But in the unforgiving world of Formula One, where every error is magnified under the global spotlight, it has been both a blessing and a challenge. Despite the scrutiny, Tsunoda remains unapologetically committed to his all-or-nothing quest for improvement. Another unique thing about Tsunoda is his fiercely competitive spirit. Back in his Formula 3 days, Tsunoda famously confronted his team manager after being told to settle for 5th place. His response was crystal clear. Never tell him to be satisfied with anything less than first. Yuki doesn't just want to race, he wants to win. It's this mindset that fuels every lap he completes. Perhaps the most iconic aspect of Tsunoda's Formula One career has been his fiery radio messages. Passionate, unfiltered, and sometimes explosive, his outbursts have become a staple of race weekends. While they've stirred controversy, especially in Japan, where composure is often highly valued, they reveal the raw emotional investment Yuki pours into every performance. Even his team boss, Franz Tost, acknowledges this fire as an essential ingredient for the extreme demands of Formula One. Despite being Japan's great Formula One hope, Yuki carries the weight of expectations with surprising ease. For him, racing isn't a burden, it's what he was born to do. This natural confidence, paired with his blistering speed and relentless dedication to improvement, has earned him the continued backing of Red Bull.